Welcome. I am Karma Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. Numerology. I get excited on numerology. I get excited because it is the instrument that has been so wonderful in revealing some pretty we say dark secrets because the word dark is that which we feel is not readily available to it to our sight or our awareness. So but it has helped me to discover some real deep seated secrets in Genesis of chapter 1 chapter 1 and 2. Okay, so in case you are new to this channel, this is where I have discovered that we have 14 gods, or we are of 14 gods in Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Also, we are of 6 different species, makeup, or whatever it is, or entities, and so on. Now, you may be wondering, well, how does that sit in with what you already know? Perhaps you might find it not so challenging when we do the maths, in the sense of we discover that Mother Eve, who is said to have been the one who ate the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, she is Mother Eve. Actually, we see that as if the story was that she was tempted by Satan, or the serpent, to be more precise, by the serpent, who was the wisest of all creatures in the garden, of course. And basically that she was duped by the serpent. But this is really so very interesting. Mother Eve has been the God, the said God, who has also played the part of Satan or the serpent or Saturn or the signs, or it's like everything. Now, it's not so difficult in the sense to see, like me being a mother and I had my son, and if you're a parent, you would know this too. How do you go to your child's bedroom, read them a story, and you find it so easy to play out or act out all the parts of the different characters in that story? So where did that seed of that ability or artistic trait come from? Do we ask ourselves those questions? We are the fruits of that garden, which was also Mother Eve. So this is the garden here. And now it's like, for instance, when we do something very creative, we see the fruits. This says the fruits of our labor. It's easy for us to understand that now, but it's the fruits of this that all of what we are, we have implemented our energy, our creativity, our words, our thoughts, our motions, our breath, all of the attributes of the 14 gods. We often apply those in what we are doing. It's like now, for instance, I am having this conversation with you. I'm having this conversation with you, and although it's on camera, I have the ability to kind of imagine that you are watching and following what I'm saying. I have the ability to have the script, or see the form or the shape, or imagine. That's the important word as well. It's imagine. I have the ability to imagine that it's going to take that form or shape, that it is going to be received on the other end, so to speak. This is where beginning and end, this of that cycle is. Hence it is said in the beginning. So I am already doing this activity with the end product in mind. So I'm not just beginning. There is an end. Of course, there is an end to when I stop the end of this presentation. But there is another end that goes even further than this, is that I'm already at the initial stage with the end that what I am saying is going to be received, it is going to be heard, it is going to be listened to. And I already have in mind when it is listened to, it is going to get you to ponder. It is going to get you to think, is what she's saying make sense? Is it not? Or what do I take? What do I leave? So there are cycles on top of cycles in that beginning. Hence, in the word beginning with the I, where it starts with the ing going on like this, it really is doing the snake thing. It's going like this. That's Mother Eve I am talking about. This is the in and out. This is the opposite, and this is the high and low. So that's Mother Eve right there. So we are looking at beginning. So this is where on this channel we have been having lots of fun uncovering, and I say lots of fun. Some of it has not been too pleasant, because the memory of that which was in the beginning has seeped into me, because I'm the fruit, I'm the product, I'm the evidence or the result of what had been created in when we heard about in the beginning. So when I say some of it had not been so pleasant, it is in the term of seeing or discovering that we are, and women, we are 100% water. I have not heard anyone else said that, but the divine feminine, the said God, the God of Lords, or the Lord of Gods, because she is the one who has the list of entries of letters. This is where she had this let, and so they were like letters, you could say. And she was the one of words, because we hear about in the beginning was the word. So she is the God of words, and we hear this in the story of Adam and Eve as we know it. It is the serpent who would say, have God said that ye shall not eat of the fruit? So there is the speech going on, the dialogue going on in the garden. So there's more to that story, to that side of the story, but now we are tipping over the other side of the coin, and we are understanding that there was a dialogue going on with Mother Eve, and of course there were different Eves, so we could also conclude that there was Mother Eve, the Mother Eve, saying to her daughter, could well be her daughter, or have God said, meaning one of the gods that she let the business to, one of those who had the letters, one of the gods, because she is Lord. The Lord is the one others are accountable to. And so she is saying, because she is reminding her daughter, behold, I have given you all fruits bearing seed after its kind. So basically she's reminding, she says, you shall not surely die. She is reminding them that they have the liberty to have whatever it is, because the God who blessed was having the Eve to be lest, meaning that something seemed to have been, there is a degree of absence. When something is B, there's B is 2 now, and it is lest, so be lest. So that less part, which was lessened, or like a lesson, this is where we get the word lesson as well. So lesson is like you need to get rid of what you had already know to understand something. It's a lesson. You learn something to be another way than what you thought it was. That's the lesson. So basically, Mother Eve is really the spokesperson. And now she is really wanting us to know what she has, in actual fact, given to us, because it is said several times in Genesis of chapter 1, behold, I have given you all fruit bearing seed, meaning that it can continue to bear fruits after its kind. And so, to comfort us, even if something is less, even if we have been blessed with the lessons where we have been lessoned or we have learned, we have the seed in the lesson itself, in that learning itself is a seed, because the lesson is a fruit in itself. It's a fruit that bears seeds, and of course it bears a seed, the fruit, and the fruit also has its seed within it. And she states that I have given you every fruit bearing seed after its kind, every fruit bearing its seed after its kind. So now I am acknowledging that I am the fruit with the seed. Now the seed has everything that I am in it, and hence that's why we can have the Akashic record in the seed. It's in the seed. It's in our lessons. It's in the be blessed, if you like, which is a word I'm being very mindful of how I use now. And because people go around, oh, be less, bless, and not really having that consciousness of what they are, is that they will be blessed in something, and then they have to propel or have that spirit ignited to move on to getting another fruit that has this fruit bearing seed in it. But people don't really think about it in that way. Generally, they just think about having abundance and not having to go through the process of that something is often taken away, and in the taking away it becomes another fruit. So for instance, if you say that, oh well, I lost my job, I was pretty upset about it, but now I understand that it has been a blessing. It has been a blessing. This is the miracle about being blessed, because now you have come to understand the lesson that has provided you the fruit with the seed bearing fruit, or the fruit with its seed after its kind. And so you are able to feel abundant in that sense. Hence people go through getting a fix, going to church, and they hear and they take like loads of blessing. Loads of blessing. And oh, bless you, Sister Martha, bless you. And so they go throughout the week feeling depleted because they have so much be lessened, until they of course go to church again, and of course because they have embraced those blessed lessons so wholeheartedly, with big smiles on their face, not realizing that what they are buying into is a contract, an agreement, which is really on the base scales right here. So whenever someone says bless you and you say thank you, you are buying into this section right here. You have bonded right there. So you are now feeling abundant. And you go to church and you're feeling high because you're praising the Lord and there's so much going on. And that's wonderful. And then you get like, because you're popular, because you're feeling all high, there's the worship, songs and praise. And so you get all these blessings. Then come Monday, you're thinking, okay, I'm okay. Come Tuesday, I'm hanging on until you're looking forward to going back into that be less, which is the beehive state, because you have not become conscious about, well, all these blessings that I have gotten. What is it in my life that I need to be conscious about in that lesson? What are the lessons? What are the blessings? Because really, the blessings are actually lessons. So what are the lessons that I am meant to be taking, learning, having? And so Spirit will guide you accordingly to be less of things that really no longer serve you, or you really consciously want to be less of. So I find this a very enriching learning for me. And this is all through Mother Eve. So I'm hoping you get the essence of that. I do this intuitively here. I feel I'm going to start with the word in the beginning. And in the beginning was the word, of course, as we have learned, Genesis of chapter 1. I keep going back to that. But when I open my mouth, I am allowing Mother Eve to guide me with that which I have been abundantly we were tempted to say be less, because they're the lessons I am learning. And of course, in that which I am learning, the seeds, or I'm planting the seeds to have those fruits as well. And this is why I'm having this dialogue with Mother Eve right now, because I had been in that blessed state so frequently. It's just like the serpent it goes like this, in and out. I'm giving you, I'm taking away. I'm giving you, I'm taking away. I'm giving you, I'm stripping you. And that's what it's about. And on the other hand, what we often do is that we complain about what has been stripped, what has been stripped away. So when we complain about what has been stripped away, then we find ourselves in a confused state of mind. Isn't that delicious? Well, for me it is. I hope you find it that way as well. So as I said, I just want to conclude on this here, because in case you are new to this is a depiction of Mother Eve. Of course, she has changed over the duration of the presentations that we have been doing, and now I kind of really like this state of her, because she seemed to be at a happier state in comparison to the past three images of herself. So I like this one, and I'm very, very excited about Mother Eve on this journey. I hope you will join me again. Well, let's, as I say, I know I'm intending to do in the beginning, but Mother Eve is guiding me here, and I'm feeling very privileged with that teaching, and so I honor it. And do join me again. We are really looking at the other side of the coin of what was really in the garden. So basically, we had one side of the story, but there are two sides to the story in the Garden of Eden. Thank you very gladly. Wonderful. Do share, please, if you like this presentation. Remember to click the thumbs up button, and of course share, because it's through sharing that we, of course, we grow through sharing. Thank you.